Hey everybody, it's your boy Justin. Welcome to Dungeon Rollers Podcast. We're reviewing another found footage movie, uh, The Willow Creek, which came out 2013. It's a horror thriller. It's an hour and 30 minutes, starring Alexi Gilmore as Kelly, Bryce Johnson as Jim, Peter Jason as the Forest Ranger, Laura McTagna as is it McTagna? I don't know how to pronounce her name. As the missing woman, Bucky Sinister as Angry Man at Road, and Timmy Red as the ukulele singer. This movie was directed and written by Wildcat Goldthwait, who became a director I think a decade ago. And before that, he was known as like a comedian, but he worked on like a bunch of TV shows. He played he did the voice of this like puppet dog character on this sitcom I used to watch, Unhappily Ever After, that would catch on TV. It was okay, but I mostly watched the show because there was this big boobed hot chick on the show that would constantly show cleavage. So I'm like, I need to watch this. So the story for this movie is Jim is this Bigfoot fanboy. He's going to travel to Willow Creek to check out the forest where the legendary Bigfoot footage came from. He brings along his girlfriend Kelly, and throughout the movie, he's like interviewing people about Bigfoot. Like at one point, he's interviewing like a chick called Sean White Guy or some shit like that, who was like a Bigfoot eyewitness. Like he interviews like this random old lady who knows nothing about Bigfoot, doesn't believe in it, which his girlfriend gives him shit about believing in Bigfoot several times in the movie. At one point he interviews the Forest Ranger, and that was one of the early highlights of the film, because this movie does not get interesting until like the 50-minute mark, which gave me deja vu, because just like with the last found footage movie reviewed, which was the last broadcast, where that movie didn't get interesting till like the 50-minute mark. Sorry, I fucking got a hair in my mouth. Oh fuck! I should have cut my hair earlier, but I was like, I'm too lazy to do that right now. Yeah, I was gonna cut my hair earlier, but I did earlier, like this year. Actually, I did it around Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, that actually turned out well. But like, I was like, I didn't feel like doing it again. I'm just gonna pay that $20 to get somebody to do it. Yeah. So, what was I talking? Yeah, like they're at Willow Creek, and there's like the town itself kind of looks cool. It kind of reminds me of that place in Washington, which Twin Peaks was filmed, where because Twin Peaks was filmed there. They're all about Twin Peaks, and like it's a huge like tourist spot. Here in Willow Creek, they're all about Bigfoot. They have like Bigfoot murals. They have Bigfoot statues. They have like a guy who runs a Bigfoot store selling like survival goods and shit like that. You also have like there's like the Bigfoot burger, and there's like even like there was like a Bigfoot themed bar, right? Where like they watch some guy perform, and then like the guy sees them like filming something in front of a Bigfoot statue, saying that they're going to go check out the gulch where like Bigfoot was spotted, right? Immediately warns him, hey, immediately warns him and his girlfriend, hey, don't go down there. It's like super fucking dangerous. And that's the thing. Throughout the movie, they're getting warned not to go there. They even hear the creepy story with the Forest Ranger about how he took his dog off his leash in the woods, which is a very smart idea, retard. and his dog gets killed by Bigfoot, but like he doesn't specify it was Bigfoot, but like but something big and powerful ripped his dog in half, right? Which thank God they didn't show that in the movie, right? Yeah, so they're frantically getting warnings not to go there, or if they do go there, they should be prepared, right? Which, here's the thing: they bring camping, they bring camping stuff and food and water, all that stuff. But you know, one of the things they didn't bring on their camping trip in the woods, a fucking compass. Not once do you see a fucking compass in this movie, which is like the most retarded fucking thing. I know compasses aren't the most reliable things in the world, because especially if there's like minerals in like hills and shit, like it can like throw off their magnetic like balance and shit, so like the compasses don't work. But it would still have been better than not bringing it like at one at all. And like isn't there a thing where like you can tell which way north is by looking at like moss being grown on trees, because moss will grow on this side of trees where the sun's rising or some fucking shit. I don't know, I think I watched that on like a survival TV show once when I was a kid. So yeah, that's the most retarded part of the movie, is that these retards did not bring like a compass. So, and the first 50 minutes of the movie is like you have like stupid couple talk between Jim and his girlfriend Kelly, which kind of looks like a young Sigourney Weaver, but with a boy's body. She doesn't have the shapely form of Sigourney Weaver back in the day. But like in the face wise, she looks just like Sigourney Weaver. That's why I would mention that. So like, spoiler alert: Bigfoot is in the movie, but not in the movie. So this version of Bigfoot, if you never looked into Bigfoot, right? Which at one point I did look into Bigfoot, which I kind of find conspiracy theories interesting. But Bigfoot, for the longest time, I thought it was the most retarded fucking thing ever, right? It wasn't until and I just want to say I don't believe in Bigfoot. It wasn't until like I started listening to Coast to Coast, and I listened to like 2 different like broadcasts on Bigfoot, where I was starting to believe in it. But like until like I found out, oh yeah, like a lot of the Coast to Coast shows were fucking fake, and I was like, fucking hell, that motherfucker. At one point they almost got me to believe it. But there's like 2 theories on Bigfoot. One, he's like highly intelligent like ape man, and there's lots of them. There's like, according to a Bigfoot expert, there's 2 breeds of Bigfoot. There's like the red ones and the brown ones, and I forgot which one, like which part of the country has the different kinds of Sasquatch. I think like from what I remember from the broadcast, they say Bigfoot, you can find Bigfoot in like New York State, Washington, Texas, shit like that, right? And depending on how hot it is, Bigfoot is more red or brown, alright? And there's also female Bigfoots, obviously. Which, so what ends up happening is they go in the woods, they find the gulch, they set up a camping spot, and at night they start to hear very weird vocalizations, like almost like monkey screeching and shit. But it totally sounded like a like totally fake to me. Like it totally sounded like, it kind of reminded me of like Native American war cries. If you ever watch like cowboy and Indian movies, but yeah, but like so they're scared shitless and their tent, and the female Bigfoot, which I could tell was a big female Bigfoot, by the fact they didn't fucking kill them for one, and it's the thing where like when that happened, there was like only like 20 minutes left in the film, right? So at that point, I'm like, oh fuck, these retards aren't gonna survive the night. They even bring a gun, by the way. Several points in the movie, the Kelly girl who's planning on moving to LA to work on TV and shit, frantically always mentions no, whenever they see like a sign that says ammunition and shit, it's like what she always like has like a fucking sarcastic comment to make, which you can tell she doesn't like guns, which like you could tell like retard. Maybe if you guys brought a gun, you would have survived. No. So like yeah, they survived the night somehow. How I don't fucking know. Because at one point, the dumb chick who's in her 30s, by the look of her, screams inside her tent. It's like, wow, give away. Didn't she say, hey, turn off the light for the camera so they wouldn't get spotted? But immediately, she's when she gets a little bit scared, she screams. It's like, wow, dumbass. So so what ends up happening after that is, and the reason why I want to spoil the whole movie is because the movie is very fucking boring. I want to tell you everything about it before you decide whether or not you want to watch it or not. So they wake up, they survive the night, and they try to get back to their RV, or sorry, not RV, their like station wagon or whatever kind of car they had. I think it was an SUV. Guess what? Despite the fact that their car like was only parked like an hour or two away from their camping spot, they spent all day lost in the woods. They can't find their way back, even though they were able to find the gulch, no problem. But immediately, for whatever reason, they can't find their way back. Probably because the retards were scared shitless. They weren't paying attention to their surroundings, and which is why, hey, you should have fucking brought like a compass. There's a reason why people call forests like green oceans, because you can very fucking much get easily lost in the woods, right? So what ends up happening? They spend another fucking night in the woods, and they run into the missing woman, who's naked except for like she has panties on, right? And they immediately get attacked by Bigfoot, which they don't show Bigfoot at all, right? But like they get attacked by Bigfoot, and Bigfoot kills the one dude off camera, of course, kind of like the fucking Grizzly Man documentary. And then Bigfoot snuggles with the dude's girlfriend Kelly, because if you ever looked into Bigfoot stories, there's Bigfoot stories, and I'm not even talking about the Peter Kane dog trainer guy, because his shit is fake, obviously. But like, though I find it funny that he lives in New York State in the woods, and that's one of the spots where they say Bigfoot lives, right? Yeah, so like, yeah, there are Bigfoot stories, supposedly real Bigfoot stories, where people have gone and snuggled by Bigfoot, even men, right? By male Sasquatch. Which there's a funny story about this guy who's like looks like he's in his 50s, big mustache, hunter who said he got like snuggled orally and anally by Bigfoot. Sorry for laughing if that's true, buddy, but it's kind of, I don't know. So yeah, so I don't know the movie. If I were to give it a rating, it's that like the movie doesn't like I said, the movie is very unless you're a Bigfoot guy and you believe in Bigfoot. The first like 15 minutes of the movie is super fucking boring because it's like this guy and his girlfriend like fucking like doing couple talk but back and forth, which was really shitty couple talk, and the guy trying to be a wannabe documentary like interviewer filmmaker like interviewing people, asking them dumb questions and shit about Bigfoot, which like Bigfoot is one of the dumbest conspiracy. Like the only way I could see Bigfoot being real, right, is if like he's like a ghost or demon or something. Like I think I saw like one. I think one of the I watched one paranormal Bigfoot podcast where they think Bigfoot is like a demon or spirit or something, which is funny. I have a funny story, but I don't want to tell it because it makes me look crazy. But yeah, I found. I was outside with my dog today, and I was outside with my dog like 3 times today, and I saw this footprint in the snow, which is it's starting to get warmer now. We had like a week or two ago, we had a shitload of snow, and like now it's starting to melt. But like I found like a fucking what looked like to be a fucking Bigfoot footprint in the fucking snow, and there was even toe impression and shit, but I could only find the one, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? No way this can be real. And I'm like, the only thing I could think of is like, well, my footprints in the snow were super huge because I was like I kept slipping, so I might have made that footprint earlier, but like I couldn't see any impressions from the soles on my sneakers in the snow, so I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's has to be it, or Bigfoot demon just showed up in my backyard just to leave a footprint that scared the shit out of me. Bigfoot demon spirit or whatever. Yeah, which yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this movie I'm giving it like a 6 out of 10. Maybe check it out if you're like a coast to coast Bigfoot, like conspiracy theorist. If you guys have any, I kind of want to watch more Bigfoot movies because like it is kind of a cool concept. But I'm fucking pissed off that they didn't, not once did they show Bigfoot. Oh, but I did like the fact that the last scene of the movie after like Bigfoot kills the one dude and snuggles with the girl. Like one of the female Bigfoots starts vocalizing, and like you can hear like a shitload of other Bigfoots vocalizing. So it implies there's a shitload of Bigfoots or Sasquatches in those woods, which I thought was funny. And that Bigfoot's probably nocturnal, right? Which is like that's another theory that Bigfoot is nocturnal. Yeah, so that's all I gotta say for this review. Later, guys. Peace.